So another thoughts while walking. So in the last one, talking about getting thoughts out, getting frustration out, just wanting to let go of the Zen, wanting to let go of all of it. And I mentioned that I haven't had the best of luck with therapists. So I'm going to explain. So the first therapist I remember, we talked about how I was the smelly kid in class and how I didn't like to take showers because it meant that I was missing out on stuff. And I hated missing out on stuff, and it made me sad to miss out on stuff. And he told me that was a dumb reason not to take showers, and that I should just take them, stop worrying about missing out on stuff, and we weren't going to discuss it anymore. So the next session, I said, hey, still having troubles with this. I'm still getting picked on by kids at school. I just can't seem to get in the shower. And I was, I think, 5th, 6th grade at this point. And he told me, well, I told you last time, we weren't talking about this anymore. So we're not going to talk about it. You're going to fix it and be done with it. And he refused to talk about it. The next therapist I saw, I told him I struggled with depression and anxiety. And I think I was a teenager at this point. Yeah, it was freshman year in high school. I said that I was sad and depressed. And I was struggling in school. And I just couldn't seem to be normal. I couldn't seem to fit in. And I was told that all depression is, that means that my relationship with God wasn't on the right track. And I would never get better until I got a better relationship with God. Because depression doesn't exist. It is just that you have a misconnection with God. And that we weren't going to talk about it until I got better at my connection with God. So the next one that I talked to, this was later in high school, junior, senior year, or first or second senior year, one of those, somewhere in there. It's the church pastor. Went to talk to him, and he fell asleep. Every time I went to see him, he fell asleep on me, snoring and all, and my anxiety would go crazy. My anxiety, my dark passenger would rear his ugly head and just berate me that I was so annoying and such a sad person that I can't even keep a therapist's attention, that I can't keep the pastor's attention well enough to keep him from falling asleep on me. That one did way more damage than it did good. Way more damage than it did good. So then, I go to college. I'm really struggling. So I go and talk to another person. I'm in Downers Grove, Illinois, 2 states away. And I go to talk to somebody. And one of the teachers told me to go talk to their person. So I did. Because I needed help. I didn't tell anybody I went to see him. Because the last few times I'd gone to see therapists, it hadn't gone well. So I go to see this person. I thought it was going decently. I felt like I was connecting. And the third time I went to see him, he tells me to go to his office. I'm sitting in the chair waiting in his office. Sorry, it hurts. I'm sitting in the chair waiting in his office. The door is cracked, and he doesn't realize it. He's talking to another therapist right outside the door. And he tells the other therapist that he was not looking forward to the next hour because he didn't know how to help me. But he was doing it as a favor. And since I was paying, and he was doing it as a favor to the person that referred me, he just sat there and smiled and just kept asking me simple questions to get me to respond because I like to talk. But he didn't think that he was ever going to be able to help me, but he felt bad telling me that. And then he came in the office, and I paid attention, and the less I spoke, the more awkward he became. So I got up and left, just walked out, told the lady at the front desk not to contact me again. So how am I supposed to go see therapists? How am I supposed to believe in counselors? How am I supposed to do any of this when every time I do, it backfires? Every time I do, I am told that I am beyond help. Whether it's overhearing the counselor say it, or being told that it's all in my head and it's just because I'm not connected enough to God, or to be told that I'm just over dramatic and I need to leave it alone and we're just not going to talk about it anymore, or to have them fall asleep on me while I'm talking multiple times. How am I supposed to take it serious? And I know, not every counselor is that way, not every therapist is that way, but everyone I have seen in my life has been that way. And I'm supposed to go to see them to get help with the dark passenger when all that they have ever done is empowered the dark passenger to break me down more. Plus the fact that my health insurance doesn't cover it. And even on a sliding scale, it's still money. And I still just don't make enough money. Money's another conversation for another time. So yes, I'd love to see a therapist. I would love to go to counseling and get help and support and all of that. I really would. I really, really would. But every time I get close to going again, the fuel starts the fire right back up, and that dark passenger pops his head up. I can't get myself to go. So many people have offered to help, and people have offered to pay for me to go, and people have offered to assist, and they referred me to people, and I get it, and I'm grateful. I am so grateful. You have no idea. To the friends that have even offered to pay, I am so grateful. I promise, I am so grateful. I cannot afford to have that happen again. I can't afford the money, and I can't afford the mental toll if that happens again. That's why I keep doing these videos. That's why I'm hoping they're going to help. But I can't get hurt like that again. Not by somebody who's supposed to be there to help me. But yeah, so that's that story. That's why it's so hard. I'll talk to you guys later. I love you.